Turkey deployed troops along the front lines around the rebel-controlled province of Idlib. It's part of an agreement with Russia and Iran to reduce violence under the Astana process, the talks that aim to find a diplomatic solution to the war, and it's welcomed by some Syrians.
People are returning to their homes and working on their land. There hasn't been any shelling since the Turkish forces arrived.
The Turkish military wants to prevent a repeat of Eastern Ghouta, when almost 2,000 people were killed during a 7-week-long ground offensive by the Syrian government. Turkey says any attack on Idlib would create a humanitarian crisis and a mass refugee flow. Its deepening engagement is approved by Moscow, which has been pushing Ankara to deal with al-Qaeda-linked rebels. Their presence provides a reason for the pro-Syrian government alliance to bomb the area. That's why Turkey has been encouraging Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, an armed group formerly known as Al-Nusra Front, to dissolve itself or reintegrate into the rebel National Army.
It might be the case that we see HTS dissolve itself, in name, and they declare that they've dissolved themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, they've disengaged from Al-Qaeda.
So far, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham has refused. There are internal differences and uncompromising hardcore al-Qaeda loyalists who recently created a new faction, Tanzim Huras ad-Din. More than 2 million people live in Idlib. Half of them have been internally displaced from other areas. The UN Special Envoy to Syria, Staffan de Mistura, is warning that an assault by the pro-Syrian government alliance would be destructive. But at the same time, he said he was encouraged by recent talks between Russian, Iranian, and Turkish representatives on how to avoid the worst-case scenario. Turkey has been trying to unite various opposition groups under the one banner, the National Army, since December. The 20,000-strong force has already been used in Turkish-led offensives against the Syrian Kurdish armed group, the YPG, and ISIL. It may now be used to take on al-Qaeda-linked fighters in Idlib.
From the beginning of the revolution, our goal was to topple the Assad regime and replace it with a regime of the people's choice, and also fight Al-Qaeda and YPG and any force that's against our revolution.
For now, Turkey and its proxy forces are trying to determine Idlib's fate through dialogue and disarmament to prevent a government assault, and the province could then become a Turkey-guaranteed safe area like other zones in northern Syria. Zeina, Khodr, Al Jazeera, Beirut.